Hello and welcome. You've read the title, so you know that today we are redecorating Julian's house. He has lived on my island for quite some time. Not one of my starting villagers, but one of the first, several that you cycle through. And I've been waiting to redo his house because I'm just not super sure what I want to do with it yet. He has a very stylized house already, but it's just not very homey. So I've been wondering how to keep his style while still making his house more homey. So we'll see if we can kind of blend those together, and we'll talk about that more after we get into his house and all that fun stuff, and we'll spruce up his yard a little bit too if need be. Before we get started though, warmer weather is here, so I think that we are going to change out my everyday outfit just a tiny bit to, get in the swing of the warmer weather. So let's see what I want to start wearing in my videos for this new warm front that's coming through, and thank goodness it is. I'm so ready to be done with the cold weather. Alright, now we've got some summery vibes going on. This is pretty much how I dress in the warmer weather. Honestly, Animal Crossing pegged me so well when they were designing these clothes. I can literally dress my character exactly like how I dress in real life, which maybe means I'm boring, or maybe just means that Animal Crossing and I are very, in tune with each other, if you will. Regardless, this is the new fit. Pretty cute. I like it a lot. There we go, looking snazzy in the new fit. Very summertime. Apparently we also had a Nook Mile achievement for changing. Yeah, there we go. Get those Nook Miles. I spent a lot of Nook Miles on tickets a while back for a hunt, and I am severely in need of miles. Before we get started, here is the outside of Julian's house. I mostly like it the way it is. I'll probably spruce things up just a little bit. I do have quite a few star fragments laying on the ground, which is hurting my island rating because I just have a lot of dropped items as decor, so we might tone that down just a tad. But other than that, I pretty much like the way it looks on the outside. Here is the man himself having his morning coffee, not suspecting a thing. We are going to try to keep a lot of this furniture, but just make it more homey. Right now he has a bathtub and a place to sit, and that's about as homey as it gets for him, unfortunately. I feel like when they were designing his house, they were just like, let's cram all of the Zodiac furniture in there and call it good. That's good enough. So I want to keep a lot of the Zodiac furniture, but make it homey. Like I've said a million times. Sorry, I'm a broken record at this point. Let's go talk to Tom Nook and see if we can get this man's house redecorated. Hey Tom, I have a request. Sorry to interrupt your stretching and your working out. I always forget they make you pay bells to do this for some reason. So random, but I'm totally fine with it. It's only 9,000, which is not much for most people at this point, unless you've restarted or anything like that. Okay, we're gonna do Julian's house. I have done most everyone else's house. Obviously I haven't done Teddy or Petrie because I think I've mentioned before that those two will be going. I really love Teddy, but I think I'm gonna give him to someone else that I know that really wants him. And Petrie, I just got on my island for fun. She's interesting, but I'm definitely not keeping her. Aside from those two, Julian is the last one to get his house made over. So I think that after we make over his house, we will focus on replacing these two and then decorating my new villagers' houses. And once I get all 10 of them done, we'll kind of do a little neighborhood tour where we show off the outsides of their houses and the new interiors. Honestly, redecorating villager houses has been one of my favorite things from the 2.0 update. I love that it's just like a regular day, everyone's chilling, and this man is in this sparkly suit. I can't with him. I guess it is Sunday. He's in his Sunday best. And of course, he's very agreeable. Julian, I just realized his eyes are almost never open. I think that when he's like shocked, he'll open his eyes sometimes, but for the most part, they are closed. Kind of odd, kind of odd. I feel like there's a few villagers like that. Okay, here is the question. Do we want to start with the interior or the exterior? I say let's do the interior first, see what vibe we end up going with, and then we'll make the exterior match. It's so awkward that Tom Nook just like hangs out while you're redecorating the whole house and just chills around here. Just stop watching me, Tom, you creep. I think I am going to leave the floors and the wallpaper the same. And I'm going to pick up a few things that I want to get rid of, pile some stuff into the corner. This is really big. It's just got to go. I think we'll swap this to white. My vision is mostly just to take what he already has and kind of make it homey and a little elegant. It's already pretty elegant with this furniture, but we'll see what we can do. I'm going to go ahead and throw all the furniture into this room that I think I want to use, and then we'll get started. All right, I've probably thrown way too much stuff into this room, but I think I'm ready to get started. I have seen a few people do kind of like a plant dad, celestial, elegant forest thing kind of theme online, and I almost think that's what I want to go for. I think it looks really nice. I'm gonna start off by just getting things kind of into normal-ish looking places. I have thrown way too many things in here. It's gotten very cluttered, and I'm not quite sure how I want to get that homey aspect in here. I threw in the dresser because I think that kind of helps with that. And I also moved those lights up on the walls so I'll have more room for other stuff on the walls. All right, this is what we are looking like so far. I thought this really looked like a moon floating, and I just loved that so much. I think I fall into this problem where I start just trying to line all the furniture up around the edges of the room, and that can look okay, but sometimes I think it comes off as being a little stuffy. So I'm trying to kind of inch a few things into the middle, be a little brave with my placement. We'll see if it pays off. I'm going to take a moment to work on the walls and move some stuff around. Here everything is with the stuff on the walls moved around. I added in a picture of the man himself because I think that Julian might be a little self-absorbed and I could see him having a photo of himself on the wall. I also added in a picture of Elvis, who used to live on my island, and I would see him and Julian hanging out a lot, so I thought that was a fun little Easter egg for myself. Here is a quick spin of everything that's on the walls so far. I think we are doing mostly good. The plant aspect I'm having a hard time with, so I might actually add in some of those ceiling hanging plants. I completely forgot that those exist. I forget that they exist all the time, but they look super nice. So let's see if those look nice really quick. I might be overdoing it with the vines just a little bit, but I almost think I'm gonna leave it. And I'm going to adjust as I go if need be. And I'm going to turn down the lights, and I think that'll make it look a lot better. I think seeing the ceiling is a little awkward, but you won't usually see the ceiling whenever you're looking around in here. Let me adjust the lights and tweak a few things, and maybe that'll be the way we want to go. Oh yeah, turning the lighting down helped so much. It just looks so magical in here. And now he has a dresser, he has a little tea set going on, he's got the bathtub with some actual way to fill it up with some water now, which I thought was, needed. I think that this is turning out really splendidly. I almost think the harp needs to move. I'm not sure where yet. I just ended up swapping the rocking ram and the harp, and I think that looks a lot nicer like that. Everything is still a little bit pushed out, and I think this cushion needs to come this way just a touch so that he can actually get back here, because I don't think the villagers will do that kind of scooting motion. But other than that, ooh, I don't know. It's fine. He still has plenty of room to walk over here. I'm always so worried about how much room they have to walk around, and I'm like, Jill, they're digital animals. Calm down. Don't care so much. This is looking super great, and I had to add a TV up there just so he wouldn't get bored. I feel bad not putting any activities in their rooms. And here it is with Julian plopped down inside. Oh, I just love the way this turned out. I know this was like really quick build on this. You know what? That wall over there is really empty, and every other wall is really full. Is it okay empty? No, I think that little spot is fine empty. I'm really loving how this turned out. I know it feels really over the top with all the vines, but especially when you get into the right angle, it just looks super duper nice. And with the lights low, I think that helps out a ton, especially with the clouds on the ground. They look extra like misty and nice that way. I really think that Julian would be a plant dad who thinks of his house as his like fortress that he surrounds himself with all his favorite things. So I definitely think it being a little overly gaudy is very Julian. I'm really pleased with how it turned out. So here is one last big sweeping view with Tom Nook creeping in the corner there. It's so creepy how he watches you. But yeah, I think this turned out great. Oh, I almost forgot the exterior. Let's do the exterior real quick. I mostly just want to gussy up this door a little bit. I hope this is the one that has the door with the gold appliques on it. Oh man, there's silver on this one. I was really hoping for gold. The white door has gold, but it does look a little harsh with the rest of the house. Maybe if there was a roof that was a little more polished. But I almost don't think there is one that's too much more polished on this style of house. The hard part about it is so few of these blues go very well with the blue of the roof. Ooh, that doesn't look too bad. Honestly, let's leave his house mostly how it was. Let's give him a slightly fancier door, and then let's throw a nice wreath on there for him. This is looking nice. And my neighbor is mowing, so if you can hear that, I'm terribly sorry. I'll probably take a break for a second in recording so he can be done mowing. So my neighbor is done mowing, and we have time traveled to the next day at nighttime because I wanted to see this build again at nighttime because that's when it really shines. And Julian's house is complete. Unfortunately, he's not inside, so we can't go see him inside. He's back here singing, but that's okay. Now that I'm seeing this again in the nighttime, honestly, all I think I want to do is swap the position of these two hyacinth lamps. I keep forgetting I can't walk through there. Just because they are kind of the two blue next to the two yellow. Oh, I picked that flower. Ah, I always do that. I just want to make sure that the colors aren't too close to each other, so we'll swap those out just to be a little extra, just to keep them kind of not next to each other. I don't know why that matters, but I'm sure a lot of you feel the same way about that kind of stuff. Oh yeah, look at that. Much better. One other thing that I have been considering adding is a telescope. So I think I'll come back here to Julian's backyard, we'll scoop up all these flowers, and then I'll put like a little telescope back here in Julian's backyard. Alright, it's a pretty minimal change, just kind of throwing this back here, but I think it's nice and kind of gives him more activity just because the inside of his house isn't quite as homey as other people's. Did I run through these flowers too? Oh my goodness. Well, when those flowers come back, I think this will look very nice the way it is. His yard was one that I was pretty happy with anyway. I see this build a lot during this yard, not really build. I see his yard during the daytime a lot, and I think I forget just how nice it looks at nighttime. And every time I see it in the nighttime again, I'm like, oh yeah, I don't want to change this. I really enjoy how it is. His yard is a little bit bigger than most of my other villagers' yards, so he's, you know, getting a little special treatment. You know, has a pool even though we live on an island. This man. Also, Roscoe's yard is pretty small, and I didn't really think it needed to be very big because, you know, it's Roscoe. He's a pretty reserved kind of guy, so. And Roscoe actually does have a backyard, unlike many of my villagers. He has a little garden back here, so don't feel too bad for him. That's it for this video. It was a really short video. I had much more of a vision in mind for his house than I thought I did, and I really didn't want to change much on the outside of his house either, so it ended up being a pretty quick video, but hopefully this is good inspiration if you are looking to redecorate one of your villagers' houses or even Julian's house. If you've already redecorated Julian's house on your island because you have him, what kind of vibe did you go for? I'm super curious. I feel like you could go a lot of different ways with him. Thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it, and have a really great day. Bye.